Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I will just start off real quick before I hand this off to Simon and tell you a little bit about EdgeCast networks. We are a content delivery network globally distributed around the world. Our network consists of about 10,000 plus servers in over 30 different strategic points around the internet. We serve over 4 trillion objects every day, every month. We are now at the point of over 6,000 customers, including some of the who's who of the internet, the Twitters, Pinterest, Hulu, Etsy, Vegas.com, and the like. And we serve now in that footprint about 5% of the internet's traffic. That's who EdgeCast Network is. Simon?
And I'm representing Liveclicker, which since 2008 has been the leader in video commerce, which is basically the services and technology that go into helping e-commerce organizations with their video program, managing those videos and optimizing them for search and making them interactive and performing analytics on them. And those are some of the companies that we work with. So if you have any questions about any of their video programs afterward, feel free to come up and ask me.
Yeah.
Cool. And so because we're doing so much with analytics of videos, we've analyzed about 1 billion video plays over the last few years. And so we decided to do a study for this presentation of about 50 million video plays, top retailers, over the last year. And then we took out the video plays that happened during the holidays. We tried to figure out what was different about the holiday season so that we can help you prepare, not just for the holidays, but for what will happen in 2014 that you need to budget for. So there were about 20 million video plays that happened during the holiday season of those 50 million. And we tried to look for trends that were common amongst the two groups, outliers that were different during the holidays. And then obviously we perform all kinds of different metrics. We're just a bunch of numbers geeks. We used to run a web analytics company before this. So not just simple metrics like how many times was the video played or how far did someone get into the video. That's really simple. But things like when did someone move their cursor while the video was playing? What was the conversion rate on this group of videos as opposed to that group of videos? How many dollars per play are we earning? I talk to companies all the time and I ask them, how's your video program doing? And they say, great, we got a lot of plays. And I'm going to prove to you today that that means absolutely nothing. So you need to be looking at how many dollars you're making from that program, especially if you're trying to sell things, and that's the whole point of the program. So we identified 5 expectations for the upcoming holiday season for you to keep in mind. Number 1 is that your videos are going to become more effective. It's not just that you're going to get more traffic. You know that. You don't need to be in e-commerce to know that you're going to get a lot of traffic soon. But that each video play is going to be more productive, and I'll explain why. Production value is not the key to success. You do not need to pay someone thousands and tens of thousands and millions of dollars to produce videos for you. It's a complete waste of money, and I'll explain. Your community will make videos for you, and we'll talk about how to get your coworkers to make videos for you and how to make your customers make videos for you, because, again, production value is not the point. And then video SEO is more important than you might think, and it's actually, you can be competitive in video SEO within your industry or within your vertical because your competitors are not. I promise they're following a lot of worst practices, no matter who you are. And then the last thing we'll talk about is that page speed is more important than you might realize. It's more important than ever, especially during the holiday season. So let's talk about expectation number 1. When we looked at those 50 million video plays, so things that we noticed were not just that you're getting more traffic, but that a lot of revenue and a lot of orders were happening during that time in a disproportionate amount. So for example, about 24% of the video plays that we saw over the course of that year happened during those couple of months or during that holiday season. But 31% of the orders and almost 31% of the revenue happened during that time. So again, each play was driving more sales. And we'll delve into that a little bit more. It took less video plays to reach a conversion during that period of time, during the holiday season in 2012. So about 67.8 less video plays to reach an order across a bunch of different customers, across tens of millions of video plays, which is a great way to analyze what's going on. And the conversion rates were about 25% higher during the holiday season. You guys should know conversion rates are already high when it comes to video. When you do a video versus no video test on a product page across different product categories, usually you're going to get about a 30% lift. In apparel, it's higher. If you're selling a toaster on Bed Bath & Beyond, that might be a little bit lower. Depends on the type of product, but about 30% is about average. So we're talking about 25% higher than the 30% during that time. Average order size rose almost $1 during that time. So people were buying more things after watching a video. And also the average dollars per play increased significantly, about $2.47 more per video play during the holiday seasons, which is usually dollars per play are going to be somewhere in the, well, it depends what you're selling, obviously. But when we look at that many customers and we divide it out, the average is going to be in the low teens. So when you're talking about $2.47 more, that's a huge percentage more. And we also took the top 25 performing videos of the holiday season, the top 25 performing videos of the year, and tried to figure out, are any of them in common? Is there anything that is in common amongst the two groups? And what we found is that, again, the conversion rate and the average order size and the revenue per play were higher for the top 25 during the holiday season. So some things that are a little bit commonsensical, but it's nice to see sometimes in black and white. And it's nice to see that in a widespread study, your beliefs are confirmed. Talked to a lot of companies that talk about how many video plays they got. Let's look at an example here. So these are two videos that were in the top 25. They're both promotional videos, which is actually a little bit surprising that a promotional video would be one of the top videos, because usually we all have a thick skin when it comes to promotional anything. But the one on the left was from Kitty Care, which is basically the biggest baby retailer in the UK. About 72,000 plays over the last 12 months. The one on the right is from One Stop Plus, which is an apparel retailer here in the US. Just over 1,000 plays. Guess which one earned more money? I wouldn't be showing this to you if it wasn't the one on the right. $18,000 more revenue over the last 12 months. So again, if I were to ask these two companies which promotional video did better, I would say Kitty Care could learn something from One Stop Plus in this. And the reason why I can pick on Kitty Care is because they have one of the best video programs amongst our customer base. They're incredible. Their conversion rates are huge. They are a great case study to copy if you're running a video program. And so I can pick out the one video that didn't do great for them. Expectation number 2 is that video production is not where you should be spending a ton of your money. We look at some of our customers that are doing amazing things with video. eBags is a great example. They were our first customer, been with us for 5.5 years. You've probably all seen Peter Cobb speak about video at a different trade show that you've been to. Their video production budget is astoundingly small. And I probably shouldn't name the number, but he just spoke at the shop.org merchandising workshop not too long ago, and he named the number, and it would be lower than most of you spend on video production. But the amount of dollars that they're getting in from that program, you'll see some examples here. Here are two videos. The one on the left is on petco.com. It is from a company called Carefresh. It has some production value. It has a pet in it, so it has an animal that they had to control. It has an actor. It has a script. It has transitions. It has things that pop up. There's some video editing that went into that. There's some production value to the one on the left. The one on the right, has anyone ever seen the eBags packing cubes? Okay, you've seen them. It's basically something that helps organize your luggage when you're traveling. So you have these little packing cubes, so you can put like all of your shirts in one, and all of your pants in the other one. It's a very simple product, and so they just had their director of product development just get on camera. Hey, Bernard, come down the hall, get on camera. Can you show everybody the packing cubes? Well, the one on the left, better production value. The one on the right, less production value. The one on the left has earned about $2,000 in cumulative revenue since it's been posted online. And the packing cubes video, it's one of our famous videos amongst our arsenal of videos. More than $3 million have been generated after people have watched that video over the years. Those of us who work at Liveclicker, it's almost impossible to not buy the packing cubes, but you watch that video enough times by showing people this example. I have them in my hotel room right now, packing cubes. You should get them. Some of the sales just come here at trade shows. Actually, let's look at the packing cubes video. Can you pull that up real quick? And we'll just play the first 15, 20 seconds here. Great, thank you. A video like that can be done with a studio that we can help you build for about $1,500. You can actually use an iPad as your camera or an iPhone as your camera. We have a free app that you can download on the Apple App Store. It's called Liveclicker Mobile Studio. It actually walks you through the process of making a video like that. It says, hey, for the next 10 seconds, do this. For the next 20 seconds, do that. There's no editing involved. You can if you want to, but when you finish it, it stitches it together with transitions and music, and you've got a $3 million video if you've got the right product and the right Bernard. Let's look at this video here. This is one of the top 25 videos from the holiday season last year. And keep in mind that their holiday season is not the same holiday season as most retailers because Mother's Day and Valentine's Day is bigger for 1-800-Flowers than it is for you, most likely. But when we look at this video here, let's try to guess how much they spent on video production. And we'll just watch this in its entirety. Wait for it, it's going to get really exciting here. You guys ready? That's it. I'd be shocked if they spent more than $20 to produce that video. Now, when we go back and we look at the results from that video, look at that. $200,000 were generated from that video. The conversion rate was through the roof, so almost a third of the people who watched that video went ahead and purchased. Really, the point is that they answered the one question that people have, which is, do the flowers wilt or not? What are they going to look like after 48 hours? And that's what they answered. And so it's anticipating the question that people are trying to ask. If you were at a florist and you were there and you asked, hey, are these sunflowers going to wilt? You wouldn't get as much credibility as you get from that video. So it's about credibility. I see a lot of product videos out there where someone is way too salesy and they're way too excited. And the point is, does this person actually know what they're talking about? Are they credible? Can I trust what they're saying? So that's point number 2. Point number 3 is we've seen a lot of success in having companies have their coworkers or other people produce videos for them. And so, quintessentially, whenever I ask someone, hey, you're launching a new video program, great. Is there anyone on your merchandising team who feels comfortable in front of the camera? One of the first questions I ask, because those people are great. They already know the products. They don't need a script. You don't need to prep someone on your merchandising team. You just need them to feel comfortable in front of the camera. A couple bullet items, turn on the camera, good to go. Especially if you're doing little 10, 15-second segments and then you're stitching those together. Most people can pull it together for 15 seconds. So this is an example from eBags. We actually did a contest for them last year around Mother's Day where we had them ask their customers to produce videos for them. So it was a contest. They said, hey, why don't you just shoot a video about your mom? How much you love your mom. Really simple. And the videos were basically submitted using technology that we provided for them. It can either be on their web page or on Facebook or wherever. And then we moderate those videos for them to figure out which ones are kosher to put on the website before they enter the contest. But then people can go ahead and share those videos on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. There was a voting mechanism on there. And the idea was not necessarily to get a bunch of great videos in, although they did. It was to identify who makes a good video. And that's what I usually tell people is, if you got, let's say, 1,000 video submissions and only 70 of them were great, that's okay. You just identified 70 customers that make good videos. And you can now incentivize those 70 people to make another video for you. That's huge. That's worth a ton in production value. The one on the right was another example that we did for petco.com. You would find it on Facebook. So is your pet a star? Who here has a cat or a dog? Who here would do a quick video about their cat or their dog? Yeah. A lot of people feel bashful in front of the camera. Your dog doesn't, right? And so this was a really successful program. Here's another example. Brookstone is one of our clients. One thing they're going to be launching here, well, the first thing is that we found that the people who work in the stores, the sales associates at Brookstone, those people know the products really well, right? But a lot of times they need to be able to have a video so they can show someone the product video really quickly. And so we built an iPhone or an iPad app for them. If you're on an iPad and you pull up video.brookstone.com, you're going to get a different video.brookstone.com than you do on a laptop. We built that for them so that if you're in the store, your sales associate, someone asks you about the vibrating rocking chair, you can just say, hey, hold on, let me flip through the videos and I'll show you real quick some things about the vibrating rocking chair, which is it's like a $3,000 chair, so that all the sales associates want to sell that. So those people are experts, right? Who better to make a video about that chair than one of the sales associates? And so we're launching this contest for them where, using an iPad app, the mobile studio one that I told you about earlier, their sales associates are going to be able to go shoot videos, and they'll have a contest among their sales associates. The one who does the best product video not only gets it on the website, but gets to take the product home, which is a great incentive. So those of you who have great products that people in the stores would love to own, it's a really easy idea. Did I mention the app was free? You can download it and play with it tonight if you want to. Number 4, video SEO is more important than you think it is, and it's easier than you think it is. If you had 5 or 10 videos, I would just teach you how to do it yourself. But the problem with video SEO is it becomes a lot of manual labor, just like SEO becomes a lot of manual labor when you have a lot of content to manage. So for our customers that have dozens or hundreds or thousands of videos, it's invaluable for them to have a company managing SEO for them. Here's an example here of just a results page on Google. As you guys know, results pages are now blended, right? They have been for years with images and videos and whatever. This is Bed Bath & Beyond. If you type in Cuisinart Juice Extractor, just an example, you'll see a couple videos pop up. Is anybody not sure what makes those videos pop up? You see them sometimes you don't. You wish they would pop up all the time for your company, they don't. I'll show you a trick. So this is one thing that we do. We manage a video gallery for every one of our clients. It's something that Google tells you to do. Almost no retailers do it. Every video needs its own URL. Every video needs its own content around that URL that points back to the product page. So we're basically managing that for our clients. And that's the reason why their videos are showing up when you pull up their keywords. And we also manage their video sitemap and submit that to Google and do a few other things with optimization of meta tags and optimization of YouTube listings and whatever. But the point is that this stuff works. 14% of all the video plays that Bed Bath & Beyond gets come in through this channel, which is really significant because they get a lot of video plays. Don't forget YouTube. YouTube is not a great video player in our world. We feel like it's a search engine. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. So why wouldn't you want all of your videos on YouTube, right? Driving traffic back to your product pages. The problem with YouTube is that generally most of you have a program where people watch videos. It's great. You wish they would buy that. They're watching cats singing after that, and they're watching cats dancing, and then they go click over to some other site. They never made it back to your product page. And so with a simple redesign, this is something we did for Canadian Tire, there's only one place you can click when you watch a Canadian Tire video. It's back to the product page. When you click over there on the right, that's where you're going. And so it's about minimizing all the distractions and using YouTube as a search engine rather than as a video player. And so the name of the game, obviously, is pushing traffic back to your product pages so that you can drive conversions. But if your product pages are too slow, then that is another issue that we see, especially during the holiday season. People had less time. That's one thing we noticed. We noticed that the average person was watching about 2 seconds less of video during the holiday season than they were the rest of the months because they were just too impatient. They didn't have time. They're there to make a purchase, and if it doesn't load fast enough, they're just going to go to a competitor's site. And actually, one of the things that Google is ranking your pages based on is page speed. And so I'm going to hand it over here to Don, and he's going to explain some things they've learned about that.
Thank you. So for the next 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about some fun stuff, basically speed. Most e-commerce companies that are either using a content delivery network or thinking about using one are doing it for one reason, speed. Maybe better said performance, but of which a big proponent or component of that is speed. And to Simon's point, it's not so much, it's important, no one knows actually how Google or Yahoo figures out your page speed and that triggers SEO rankings. We do know that it is an impactful way to increase your SEO, but no one knows how to do it. It's kind of a secret sauce. What isn't a secret to anyone in this room is that page speed matters, and it can greatly increase things like conversions or the lack of speed. Can impact that very negatively. But the bigger problem where you should be thinking about speed, and I'm going to challenge you throughout this presentation not only to, I'm going to try to talk to you about how a content delivery network can impact parts of your website and increase your speeds, but also to rethink the concept of speed altogether. Because you got to think of speed differently in 2013 than you did even just a few short years ago. But imagine you've sitting around, you've got weeks and weeks eating late night Chinese food, you've done everything perfect, you got this great marketing campaign, a great brand, a loyal audience, you've got all these fantastic videos through Liveclicker. Your SEO, your marketing campaign is spot on, your SEO is kicking, and what happens? It works. The people actually come to your site, sometimes one by one, sometimes in droves. This is where speed matters, because when they get there, you need to make sure that you've delivered on the promise that you just promised them in all these marketing campaigns. And that is not only in terms of content, but in performance. And there is an ever-increasing intolerance for things like latency and availability. When you're talking about videos, buffering, people have zero tolerance for buffering. Think about when you go to watch a video, how annoying it is when you see that little circle twirl, right? And it needs to be fast. You need to be fast, and fast is defined an entirely different way today than it used to be. I liken it to, I get a question a lot when I'm talking to customers or eventual customers. What is fast? What's fast enough? And my question back to them is, why are you thinking in terms of fast enough? Think of Olympic athletes, world-class sprinters. They don't sit around going, I hope I'm fast enough, right? I mean, Usain Bolt, that guy's a human cheetah, right? And I have a hard time thinking he wakes up on a random Tuesday afternoon eating a bag of Cheetos and bonbons and gulping down a Mountain Dew and goes, yeah, I'm fast enough today. I think I'm just gonna sit around and watch, Dog the Bounty Hunter. That guy wakes up every day and goes and works 10 hours a day to be faster. He is the fastest human being on the planet, and he wakes up every day thinking, I need to be faster today. So I encourage you all to think that way when you're thinking about your website, especially during the peak and holiday seasons where you're gonna have the highest traffic. This stat's up there because what you probably don't know is fast enough is also an evolving, moving target. 4 years ago, fast enough meant 4 seconds. 2 years ago, fast enough meant 2 seconds. Just last year, the New York Times said that at 250 milliseconds, as mind-boggling that is, it can make a huge difference in the performance and the conversion, that kind of thing on your website. So at a quarter second now, people at some level in their brains are saying, this site's not fast enough, and they're losing. So fast means fast. Think in terms of faster. And it's not just a nice to have. This isn't like for bragging rights on the playground, like I'm the fastest kid, ha ha ha. This stuff has real monetary impact for you. This was a study done 5 years ago by Forrester. The average of impact of a 1 second delay could be a 7 points in reduction in conversion for you guys. So just to make that real, if you sell $10,000 a day, so good-sized e-commerce company, that's $3.6 million a year, that's $250,000. Okay, talk about the big guys, you're doing $100,000 a day, so you're doing $36 million a year, that's $2.5 million. That's a conversation I don't want to have with my boss. Oh, I got lazy and I didn't see if we were fast as we could be, and it cost us $250,000 last year. I would not want to have that conversation. Just curious, so how many people in the room know if their company uses a content delivery network today? A couple of you? Okay, so I'm preaching to the choir there. At some level, people, you guys know the impact it can have. I encourage the rest of you to find out. My guess is a lot of people in here are marketers. You're on the e-commerce team. Some might be sales guys. Guess what? You guys own the revenue. That's probably the number you guys are held accountable for. And I would just encourage you to go back and ask your IT departments and make sure that they are doing everything they can to enable you to sell dollars and to bring that revenue to you. Because if they're not doing their diligence and they're not finding the best solution, the fastest solution, it's costing you money and it's costing the company money. And that's something I think you might want to look into taking some control of. I mentioned before, I don't like the question, is it fast enough? A question I do like is what if? It's a pretty powerful question. So again, as you go back to your respective offices tomorrow and Friday, and your boss sees you in the hallway and he or she says, hey, how is eTail West, or eTail East, excuse me. I'm from Scottsdale, I get caught up in that. Answer them and say, you know what? I actually think I figured out a way to make us an extra $250,000 next year. See if that'll probably get his or her attention, my guess. And well, how would you do that? Well, what if we could be faster? Well, we're pretty fast. We already have a content delivery network. Yeah, well, hey boss, we make $40 million a year in e-commerce. What if we could be a half second faster? That would be like $1.5 million in our coffers next year. Is that a good thing? Ask that what if question. What if we could be better? What if we could do this cheaper? What if we could make this easier for our customers? What if we could just be better? I think that's a much more powerful question than what's fast enough and trying to define that in your heads. So another question I get asked is what is a content delivery network? Some people here may be asking that. Well, it depends on who you ask. If we asked everyone in this room, you might all have a different definition of what a content delivery network is. How EdgeCast describes it is a suite of services doing a number of different functionalities against the kinds of things in the transaction or interaction with your customer that impact performance. It is storage, it is application delivery, it is caching, security, front-end optimization, analytics. It is all the things and the tools that you need to be as fast as possible on the internet when you are reaching out and touching your customers and you're trying to get them to open their wallets and put in their credit card number and send you money. We've also gone a step further when it comes to e-commerce. They mentioned that I am 100% focused on e-commerce. Well, EdgeCast about a year ago decided that the industry of e-commerce is different. We don't treat an e-commerce company like we do Hulu or like we do Twitter. The needs are different, the content is different. So we've built an entirely dedicated, purpose-built network for the e-commerce industry. It's a secure environment, and we will only put e-commerce traffic on that network. It is one of a kind in the industry. We're the only CDN in the world that does this. You may say, Don, I don't care. Why do I care? Well, you should care. Three major reasons. There's a lot of them. One is it's fully PCI compliant, which I'm sure is important to most companies, or it's an aspirational state for you in the near future. So it's fully PCI compliant. Second, it is we have the, because we treat it as a discrete network, we can just shut it down and lock it down. So for instance, we could do things specific for the traffic on that network during your peak seasons. When you guys are in code freezes, we can lock that thing down too and make sure what we're doing for you doesn't disturb any of our other customers. The most important reason is because what our other customers are doing won't disturb anything you're doing. The last thing you want is on Black Friday to have Twitter go nuts because the Prince of Egypt dirtied his diaper and everybody, here we go. And there's 10 billion tweets come through, and that kind of traffic messes up. There's some sort of spike on the traffic. You don't want, during a Microsoft software download, you don't want a video to go viral. So we make sure that all those things and those unpredictable events that can happen on the internet and impact content delivery to be totally removed from your world and make sure you guys are completely undisturbed by those kind of events. So it matters, and it's something we think is unique and special, and we challenge you guys to look into that as well. Let's take a quick moment on mobile. I know a lot of people are thinking, how do we handle mobile? Just know, again, we go back to that conversation. You just spent a whole year and you've done all the right things, and you've got your video, and you've got your marketing campaigns, and you've got your CDN, and you're all psyched, and you dress up in a tie like I did, and you go into your boss's office and you show him or her this plan you've got with the fastest website, and he goes, awesome. What are we doing about everyone on mobile? Because marketing just showed me a deck that said 50% of our traffic's coming in through mobile. How are we handling that? And you just got, your head explodes, right? Because you just spent all this time. So just know we're not going to get into the details and the real technical nitty-gritty of what we and CDNs can do for you. But just know that you need to be addressing mobile, and one of the ways you can do some of that stuff is with a CDN. And make sure the CDN, or any technology you pick for that matter, is capable of treating your mobile needs and your mobile traffic with the same expertise that they can your traffic, because you don't get a pass from your customers on mobile. They don't say, it's okay that you're slower because this is newer and it's harder. I mean, in fact, in many cases, they have a higher expectation for speed and performance on their mobile devices, their tablets. So, make sure that not only they can handle it, but in our case, we actually find that our mobile traffic delivery is better than most people's because of the way we've been architected. And it can be, there's a lot of ways to attack mobile. It can be something as simple as leveraging peering relationships to make sure that, regardless where that content comes from, we're closer to that 3G or that 4G network to hand the content over. It can be doing intelligent device detection at the edge, closer to your customer. There's a lot of different ways and tools to do it, but we recognize that mobile is critical, and a CDN should be able to provide some of those solutions for you. My last slide before I hand it back to Simon, I wanted to save this for last because the shopping cart can be one of the single biggest points of failure or abandonment for your customers. The technical reason, that could be for a million reasons. I got cold feet, I didn't want to buy that pink bathing suit. It could be that my wife yelled at me because I don't need another shovel and I hit abort, in the shopping cart. The technical reason for it is that secure connections are just inherently slower than non-secure selections or connections. So one of the ways a CDN can help you with that thing is to figure out a way to do the SSL revocation faster. Again, there's probably dozens of ways to do this. Companies will have different opinions on how to do it. How EdgeCast is shown to do it is two ways. One, we tried to figure out who the fastest and the best revocator of SSLs was, DigiCert by a long shot, and we made them our partner. Second, same as a lot of other things we do, we push that process out to the edge. So your customer, when that handshake happens, it happens out close to the customer with some network proximity versus having to come back to your origin to do that. But the belief and the underlying philosophy is here is if we can attack this single point of failure, this thing that slows everything down specifically, it will add to, again, another piece in the puzzle to make your website faster. So I challenge you, whatever content delivery network you choose, whatever technology, if this is one of your biggest pain points, make sure they have the capability and the know-how and to attack that problem and do it for you in a pretty big way. So again, I'll leave you with kind of a thought that what I hope you do when you leave this meeting or this presentation, when you leave this conference is go back and continue on behalf of your customers to build these feature-rich, cool websites. Use technologies like Liveclicker and video and give your customers what they are demanding and requiring, one. Two, when you do that, make sure you pick partners, content delivery networks included, that can support that and enable those features without giving an inch to performance. That's the balance, that's the trade-off you've got to find if you're going to have a successful website. Give your customers everything they want, they're going to demand it anyway, but then make sure that you have partners that can handle and work those things with you. And then third, when you've chosen those partners, put pressure on them to get better. Make them faster, make them make you faster. Because speed matters in this world, and performance is everything. So with that, I will hand it back to Mr. Simon.
Do we have time for a couple questions? Okay, great. Any questions?